Alright, I think this person's a turf. They better have a mic. I swear to God if they don't. Hello, Emmy. How you doing, buddy? Emmy Verdi, how you doing? Emmy Verdi, how can I help you today? You want to debate? How you doing, Emmy? Are you there? You're muted. I can't hear you. Emmy, 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 God, it's so hard to fucking say. Try saying Emmy, 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 Emmy. Like, you just starts to fucking drone on into itself, you know? I think I'm winning this debate by concession, technically. Oh!
I'm here, Xanderhal.
Hello, how are you?
Doing
Here, let me turn you up just a tiny bit. Can you talk again? Hello?
hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Alrighty. I can kind of hear myself in the background with a little bit of echo. Would you mind turning yourself on to push to talk? Could you put yourself on push to talk, please? I know, guys. I'm winning the debate before it even begins. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Well, what do you want to debate about today? Trans people, TERFs. What's up? How you doing?
It's people.
Trans people? Okay. What do you got? What do you got for me? Hello.
Mentally ill.
Trans people are mentally ill. Oof. You got anything to substantiate that claim?
I don't have the data on hand, but I can look for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you like a big. This is a bit of a spoiler here. I don't want to ruin your fun, but it's a bit of a spoiler. The data doesn't exist. It is the overwhelming consensus among the scientific and medical community that trans people are not mentally ill and are in fact valid. Now you can make the argument that gender dysphoria is a mental condition, but it is not classified as a mental illness, and the cure or the treatment for said mental condition is transitioning. This is backed up by a plurality of data behind the entire medical and scientific community. You will find no legitimate pure research data backing up the idea that trans people are like delusional and mentally ill. I'm sorry, like you'll be wasting your time if you try to look for that. It doesn't exist.
Do you have any sources?
Oh, absolutely. Would you like me to go through the list of well-respected scientific organizations that back up my position? Oh, they left the call. Fuck, I beat them so hard they fucking left. Oh no. That's that's unfortunate. Another debate down. Oh, you banned them from chat already? I mean, let's see if they rejoin like a voice chat and I'll pull them back in. I missed them already. Where can my Emmy be? Discord took them away from me. We were debating, I was gonna beat them. I don't know. I can't do a live parody on stream. I can't do it. All right. Well, I guess that's what happens when you argue with your feelings. Oh wait, they're back. There we go. Can you hear me? Oh, hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, alrighty. So, I don't know what that was, but this room in my Discord.
My Discord crashed.
Okay. Sure. So, would you like me to? Where do we leave off? Would you like me to start by listing a bunch of reputable scientific organizations that back up my position?
Yes.
Okay. So, for LGBTQ issues, the consensus among the scientific community is that trans people are valid, they are not mentally ill, and are deserving more or less of respect and equal rights, all that. And here's a list of academic organizations that are reputable that agree with this: the American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association, the American Psychoanalytics Association, the Human Rights Campaign, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Osteopathic Pediatricians, the United Nations, and the United Kingdom's National Health Service. Even the UK, the most turfy transphobic place in the fucking world, agrees on all of this. This isn't a debated topic among anybody who is like inclined to discussing anything having to do with like biology, psychology, or just the entirety of the medical community. It's just not debated.
I see. Can you link any of these sources?
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I can leak you an entire document that was compiled by Vosh and a person named Rosewrist. If you scroll down to around the seventh page, it starts with LGBT issues, and it basically goes down the list, citing a ton of studies with all of the data compiled, talking about the current consensus on all of these issues, and the overall outcome of this is transgender people are valid. So I'll go ahead and I'll link you this document. You can go ahead and DM me just some random thing right now, so your like our DMs like pop up, so I can just send it. Okay. Actually, I'll just DM it to you right now. Don't worry about it. I'll actually message it to you right now. Yeah. So it should be the seventh page is where it begins. All right, I've sent it.
It's just racism.
Mm-hmm. You want to scroll down to the seventh page. That's where LGBT issues begins.
I found it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
The American
Yep. Go ahead.
the American Psychological Association. There's a lot of stuff on the
Mm-hmm.
Human Rights Campaign, the UK's National Health. I see all this. I see.
Yep. And you can even like all the studies below it are what like substantiate all of this. Like below, if you want to go down to the second list, you have gender transition has a positive effect on trans people. These are all peer-reviewed studies and synthesized data that represent the fact that transitioning, like undergoing transition, is the treatment for transgender people. It is a positive effect on them. There is no data whatsoever to suggest that transitioning has a negative effect on trans people whatsoever.
Then why are the suicide rates so high?
The suicide rates can be attributed to treatment by society, and has been found their suicide rates and their rates of depression and anxiety drop like massively. This is actually backed up in the data here. Whenever they have family that is supportive of their like transition.
I see.
Yeah, it can almost entirely be attributed to societal like outside factors.
So, trans people not being accepted makes them commit suicide.
More or less, yeah. I mean, the fact that their identity, their very like being, is questioned and or it comes into question, and they are targeted with harassment. I mean, like you don't have to go very far on the internet to find massive swaths of transphobia. It's basically like the go-to position of most people online right now that transgender people are like mentally ill degenerates, right? Like it's not very hard to find transphobia on the internet. Like if you are transgender and you are in a situation where you feel as though your identity is not aligned with that of which you currently embody, your family isn't supportive of you, society generally seems to have a tilt against your very identity, do you think it's probably pretty likely that you might have a pretty disproportionately high suicide rate? I mean, the same is true of like white men and everybody else in the LGBT community. Do you think like gay people kill themselves for the same reason? Because gay people also have a very high suicide rate for the same reason.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Xanderhal,
Sorry, what?
can you promise to clip this to YouTube?
I will do my best. I can see what I'll probably actually, yeah, I'll probably upload it to YouTube because I do have a lot of videos I need to set to upload. All right. Do you have any other questions about trans stuff? Any other contentions?
If transphobia, uh, if transphobia contributes to trans people killing themselves, then wouldn't that mean that TERFs contribute to trans people killing themselves?
Absolutely, yes. They absolutely do.
I see.
Hmm. And that's unfortunate, right? You wouldn't want that, I assume.
No.
Okay. Do you believe that like trans women are like are like do you actually believe like trans people are valid as the gender they are? Do you think trans women are women, trans men are men?
No.
No. Okay, why?
I haven't seen any evidence of this.
Okay, so how would you define gender?
Gender is like your dick.
Nope. So you can also you'll be able to read this in this this whole document that I've sent you. This is also the consensus among all of these organizations for which I've already listed. Sex and gender. You're thinking of biological sex. Biological sex and gender are not the same thing. So your biological sex refers to the physical state of being male or female, or being somewhere on the bimodal distribution of male to female, right? You have anything from like femininity to masculinity and all that stuff, right? But gender refers to your social status or your social identity within society, right? It's a social thing, right? So may I ask, are you a man or a woman, like boy or girl? What's your name?
Male.
Sorry, what?
Male.
Sorry, I can understand that.
Male.
Male. Okay, so you are presumed like a guy, right? Now, if you were
Yes.
invited to a wedding or like a formal event, what would you probably wear? Like to the event, like in terms of
A suit
clothes.
and tie. A suit and tie.
Yeah, suit and tie. Why?
Because it's tradition.
Of course, but why is it tradition?
I don't know.
Is there anything like about a suit and tie that we generally associate with men that is like biologically like do suits only fit men? Like women can wear suits. Women wear suits all the time, but you just generally don't see it, right? They tend to wear dresses and skirts and whatnot. Is there any like biological reason for why they do this?
I don't think it's biological.
Of course, yeah, exactly. And you're 100% right about that. There is no biological reason why men in society are expected to be more, masculine and wear clothing that's generally associated with masculinity or wearing like suits as opposed to dresses to formal events. Now, obviously, they could. I mean, a woman can get a bespoke suit that'll fit their body type just fine. A man can probably get a bespoke dress that'll fit their body type just fine. There's nothing physically or biologically that holds them back from that. It is completely disconnected from sex. This is gender. Gender is socially constructed. Gender refers to a set of social expectations and based around your identity, right? There's a difference between being a male and being a man. There's a difference there. When you think about a male, you generally think about your biological state of being, right? When you think about a man, you typically think about a lot of social things that somebody would embody in society, masculinity in general, what we consider to be masculine. So gender and sex aren't the same thing. So when we talk about trans women being women, they are transgender. Their gender is woman because they identify as a woman, and generally they behave like women. They dress like women. They do things women do, typically speaking. There's really no difference between them and a cis woman besides their biology. But that's when we're getting down to sex. Gender is irrelevant here. So that's what we talk about when we say trans women are women, because in terms of gender, they absolutely are by every definition. This is the consensus among the list of organizations that I've already shown you here. You can read this yourself on your own time, but you'll have to take my word for it here.
I see. So gender is a social thing. It's like a socially made thing.
Yes. It's based, well, there's two social aspects to it. You have your personal identity, like I'm a man and this is what being a man means to me, and then you have your outward presentation, right? You tell the world I'm a man, and you somewhat adhere your behavior and the way you dress and the way you live to society's whatever society you live in's expectations of what it is to be a man, and or a woman, vice versa, right? And because gender is socially constructed, here comes the hot take you might disagree with, but because gender is socially constructed very much like language, right? It's different throughout different societies and whatnot. There's not really a limit on how many genders there are. Now, typically, men tend to be male and women tend to be female, but there are outliers to that, of course, in the form of trans people and non-binary people. There is no, gender isn't, made by God, set in stone or anything like that. If a society or a certain social space decides that they recognize more than two genders, then more than two genders can exist. It's not out of this world or anything. It's not like this crazy thing. It's socially constructed. It's just like you could make up a new language, and as long as it's, recognized by a group of people or by a society, or it's, capable of understanding it, there can be more languages, right? So, yeah, there's more than two genders as well. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Nice. Alrighty, is there anything there you disagree with that you want to talk about?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'll look into this more later.
Alrighty, yeah. I definitely recommend you go down and you read the article, and hopefully find it entertaining and enlightening. And yeah, I'll probably put this up as a video, I'll call it something like quickly bread pilling somebody on trans rights, the video. It'll be a good meme.
You're a great YouTuber. Love your work.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad you like my stuff. Well, my friend, do you have anything else you want to say before you go?
Trans rights.
Hell yeah, trans rights. Alrighty, my friend. I will see you around, okay?
Goodbye.
Alrighty, have a good one. Later. That was pretty wholesome, I think. I think that was pretty wholesome. I might have to debate. I might have to edit. Yeah, go ahead and unban them, by the way. I might have to edit that up into a more condensed thing for the video, because we had some memes there. But with the technical difficulties. But overall, I think that was pretty fun. That was an educational debate, if anything. That was pretty good.